Do you realize that 75 to 80% of golfers can't break 90? So don't feel bad that you're struggling at bogey and plus golf. I want to share with you a lesson that I learned. Now, going over again, I'm Bob Kurtz, golf's Ironman. I hold multiple Guinness World Records for various things in golf. This one is for shooting your age or below 7 times in one day. Not bad. But the hardest thing I ever did is something I'm going to share with you. It's for a right-hander to hit a ball left-handed and become Lefty Bob. So let's hit away. All right, address position. Killed it. Hardest thing I've ever done. Hardest thing. That wasn't a great swing, kind of lost my balance and everything. But man, at impact, I was right here. My head was in position and I released it and I hit it a long way. I tried some time ago to become the first person to shoot their age left-handed, right-handed, same day, same tees. I failed miserably because I had only been hitting left-handed 3 or 4 months. But recently, as you may know if you watch on our YouTube channel, I played 200 holes. Double marathon for Folds of Honor, that wonderful charity for the children of our fallen heroes. And I played 100 holes right-handed, 100 holes left-handed. That's 5 rounds plus 10 holes and 5 rounds plus 10 holes left-handed. Of those 10 full rounds, I shot my age or lower 9 times, including 4 times left-handed. So I broke 90. I'm not 95 years old. I'm 84. And you know, I shot my age first time when I was 64. I shot 63. That's also close to a record. But we're going to talk about what I learned left-handed that's going to help you break 90. What did I learn trying to hit it left-handed? Well, I learned that this game is hard. It's difficult. It's challenging to hit a ball, much less left-handed. And the first few swings, first few weeks, it took me maybe 6 weeks before I really started hitting a ball consistent. And I was doing this, hitting it with the upper body like this. My head was going from here to here. I don't have a gorgeous golf swing left-handed, but if we're talking about breaking 90, you don't need a gorgeous golf swing, do you? All you need to do is to hit the ball as close to 200 yards straight as you can, even 150 yards. We're going to show you some of the most amazing video that you've ever seen about hitting a ball 150 yards from the tee. You don't have to hit any further than 150 yards. You still can break 90. We'll explain how. But back to lefty. So what did I do to learn to hit it straight left-handed? The only thing that you possibly can do, and that is to keep your head at impact the same position that it was at address. Most people's head moves forward and nothing good can happen. So I focus, I concentrate, I look at the back of the ball. I don't worry about how pretty my swing is. It's not a pretty swing. I take it back and at impact I hit it hard. And that's it. Now right-handed, you know, I've got a big swing like that. Notice my hands are above my head. Right-handed, boom, no problem whatsoever. I can't do it left-handed, but I can sure hit the ball. Watch. So if you can hit a ball like that, you can absolutely break 90. So if I can do it in a couple of months left-handed, you can break 90 with these lessons that I'm going to share with you, which are so important. We're going to give you 4 ways to learn to break 90, and you're going to be able to do it in 2 weeks, guaranteed. I know a lot about how to break 90. One of the best videos 30 years ago, so forth, was a video that I did. This is my daughter Beth. You've seen her on previous videos. How to break 90 in 30 days. It was one of the best-selling videos of that era. Nobody has VHS anymore, but you can watch it right here on Absolutely Amazing Golf. You can just go through the videos and click the full episodes, but we're going to share maybe the most important lesson in this video about how to break 90. But first, let's talk about it. I said I know a lot about it because it's just been recently playing golf left-handed, you know, starting off couldn't break 110 or 100, then 100 and so forth. But I learned the secrets, and I thought about it and thought about it. And one is you've got to be able to keep a ball in play. Absolutely, you got to stay out of trouble. The number one thing is cut out the double bogeys, the triple bogeys. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to hit the biggest drive you've ever hit when there's a lake and there's trouble and there's out of bounds and so forth. Just get the ball in play. And staying out away from the double bogeys. You can make bogey all the way around a golf course and make one par and you shot 89. Got that? Keep it to bogeys. In other words, try to get on the green in time to putt for a par. If you miss the par, you've got a bogey. And the bogeys don't hurt you. It's the doubles, the triples, and the nines that you have that really hurt you. Stay out of trouble. Be smart. Play conservative. You don't like to do that. Everybody likes to be like Rory and Arnold Palmer and all those guys that went for broke. And sometimes Arnie and Rory lost tournaments they shouldn't have lost because they went for broke. But secondly, approach the green smartly. Sometimes being on the green, if you're in the back of the green and it's downhill slope and a swale, you're absolutely going to three-putt. Whereas if you hit your approach shot just short, you've got an uphill putt, maybe 12, 15 feet. You might even make that putt from off the green. So approach smartly, in addition to staying out of trouble. And of course, what we've got to do is learn, take more club. If it's an 8-iron, hit a 7-iron. If it's a 6-iron, hit a 5-iron. 90% of all golfers come up short by misclubbing. You know, what you do is you say, hey, I hit a 7-iron 150 yards. Yes, you do, when you absolutely hit it your very, very best. But you don't hit it your very, very best all the time, do you? So you can hit a 6-iron that'll go that 150 yards or however long you hit it. So remember, take more club. Approach the green smartly with the wisdom that you've had of years of playing, and stay out of trouble. Just don't be a hero. But the most important part of it is using your putter. Let's go to the putting green, and we're going to get this final principle of how to break 90. Let's go. If you're going to break 90, you've got to be a good putter. No. Trust me, you've got to be a great putter, better than everybody else. But there are only 2 putts that you need to be better than everybody else. People will practice little 3-footers. Shoot. If you're worried about those, just pick it up or learn just tap it in. And then you'll find guys that are putting these long 50 and 60 footers. I mean, you don't have that many even in a week of playing. So the 2 putts that count, 6 foot and 12 foot, 6 foot and 12 foot. You're going to have a lot of these to save par, maybe even to save bogey. If you're the best in your group, if you're best in your club at 6 and 12 feet, trust me, you're going to shoot good scores. And every time you putt from 6 feet or 12 feet, make sure you hit it a foot to 14 inches past the hole, because the ball will break out of the hole if it's dying, and you don't want that. You want to hit it nice and crisp. Like that. And like that. Now on a 12-foot putt, it's a little bit different than a 6-foot putt. You've got to be accelerating on line. In other words, you put the putter head in the hole. That enables you to follow through and get the speed that you need to hit it 12 or 14 inches past. I love these putts, because if you make more than everybody else, you're going to have a good score. Now that was hit a little too soft, broke off the right. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. That was 3 out of 4 from 6 and 12 feet. That was done one take. Maybe you can be 4 out of 4. Think how good your score will be. Nothing is more fun than pulling the ball out of the hole after you've made a good putt. Work on your putting. Now, You're going to see the best lesson I ever gave in that VHS video from years ago. I'm trimmer, got a lot more hair then than I do now, but the lesson is still the same. If you can hit a ball 150 yards, keep it in the fairway, I guarantee you can break 90. Watch this video and learn. It's great.
Well, are you ready to play around the golf? We're going to show you something very interesting. We're going to play the first 3 holes here at Fort Armour, but before we do, a word about our hero, Arnold Palmer. Everybody's hero. But Arnie probably has done more to hurt the average golfer than anybody because of his huge, powerful swing. I remember a few years ago I was playing an exhibition with Arnold Palmer and Dave Hill back in Colorado. We came to the 3rd hole. It was a brand new course. All of us had hit, and it was up to Palmer. There was a lake in front of the green on this par 5, and Palmer says to Dave Hill, he says, "What should I do?" And Hill says, "What should you do? You're Arnold Palmer. Go for it." Well, of course, that's the way we feel about Arnie. That's the way he's always played. Played with determination, with charisma, but mostly with power. Now, here's an important word about power. If you want to break 90, you need precision and accuracy a good deal more than power. All of us would like to hit the ball 290 yards, jump out of our shoes, have our right foot drag like Greg Norman. Well, you need that if you're going to shoot 62 at Glen Abbey like Norman has. But to break 90, you just need to keep it in play. And to illustrate that, we're going to play the 3 tough holes here at Fort Armour. The first 3 holes, very difficult, with just 3 clubs. A putter, obviously, a pitching wedge, and a 7-iron. And let's just see exactly how we score, all right? Okay. Feel like Bill Murray in Caddyshack. Need a 290-yard drive. Must be a 7-iron. Well, we won't hit it. We'll hit about 150. And we're off. Now, the first hole here at Fort Armour is 370 yards. It's uphill. It's a par 4. 370 yards. I hit the first shot 150, almost exactly, because I stepped it off, and I'm 221 yards from the pin. Not going to get there this time either. Okay, we're off again. I don't know if I like being a short hitter or not. Anyway, we were 220 away, hit it 150, got this little 70-yard shot. I'm using my pitching wedge because that's the only other choice I got. That's a little right. Oh, got a good kick though. Let's see what happens, okay? Woo, not bad. We'll tap that in for bogey. I really missed my point. The point is that you should be able to be putting for a par on every hole if you can hit the ball 150 yards. We just barely missed it by leaving that shot short, but we chipped up and we made a bogey. So let's go on to the second hole, which is a very, very tough par 5. Second hole is a 500-yard par 5. Now, this is going to be a little tougher than the first hole because there's all kinds of trouble on this hole. It's got a split fairway. There's water in front of the green. There's a swamp a little bit to the right. We've got to be a little bit more careful here. But let's take our trusty driving 7-iron and see what happens. And we're off again. This was not a good tee shot. I only hit it about 140 yards. Didn't quite catch it. But 7-iron keeps us in the fairway. Here we go again. That's a little better. Let's it. Okay, we got a little bit of a problem here. We're between 175 and 180 yards out. Now, if we could use another club, we could put it on the green, but you can see all the trouble that's in front of the green. So because we can only hit it 150 or so, we're going to have to go left and then use a wedge and come up. So we'll hit this one a little bit left. Should be good. Well, we have to admit that that may be just a little bit better shot than we're usually typical of hitting. But the point is well made. Even if it wasn't this close, we would have been on the green somewhere in this area putting, maybe 10, 12, 14 feet for par. At least we had a chance to make par. We were on the green in 4. But it turns out that we have a pretty easy par right here. Boom! How about that? Next hole, a par 3. We're doing pretty good, aren't we? This is the third hole. It's a 140-yard par 3. Now, first of all, I have to admit that the last hole surprised me a little bit. We're going to play these first 3 holes. I thought I would go bogey, bogey, and I figured I could get a par here, so that would be 2 over after 3, and show you that you could shoot 42 or break 45 easily on 9 holes just using a 7-iron. But we got a little lucky on the last hole, so let's see what happens here. Well, this is fun. We can make this putt and be even par after 3. Make the birdie here. Let's see what happens. Even if we don't, we're in still pretty good shape, aren't we? A little fast downhill. In fact, a lot fast downhill. Break toward the water. Oh, slow down. Turn in. All right. Ah, nice little 3. Oh, we got a par, easy par there. But anyway, our point is well made. We played 3 holes, a medium-sized par 4, a good par 5, and a short par 3, and we finished 1 over par with 1 bogey and 2 pars. Actually, that's a little bit better than I intended to do, but you begin to see the point, can't you? That if you can keep the ball in play, stay out of trouble, it's surprising how low you can shoot if you begin to scramble well. So the point is well taken. Remember, keep the ball in play, and even if you don't have the power of Arnold Palmer or Greg Norman, if you can hit it straight and hit it at least 150 yards, there is no hole made on this planet that you can't be at least on and putting for a par.
I hope you learned from this episode about how to break 90. You can, you can, you can. I want you to be able to do it so very badly. You tell me about your success. Just go to the comments section, send me a comment, tell me your good story about breaking 90. I love those stories. I love to connect with you. I love you to connect with me. We're having such a great time. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. We've got some plans for our subscribers. We've got some prizes coming up and some fun things ahead. Stay with us on Absolutely Amazing Golf as I sign off, as I always do. May your life and your golf be absolutely amazing.